So I'm almost done with season 9 of Grey's Anatomy, but I started a new show and I'm low key obsessed with it. So this is Shameless. I have been meaning to watch this for a little bit, but I never had Showtime, and we went for the longest without having Netflix. And having Netflix now is why I get to watch things like Grey's Anatomy. And I saw Shameless on here, and I was like, you know what? Why not? And mostly the reason why I wanted to see it is because Emmy Rossum is in it, and Emmy Rossum completely changed my brain chemistry when she was Christine Daae in Phantom of the Opera. And she wasn't like the only reason why I wanted to be Christine Daae when I grew up, but she didn't help. That dream was sadly thwarted when I went to college and decided I wanted to be a writer, and also the fact that I am a raging contralto. But moving on. So, Shameless is about this family who is dealing with some familial and individual issues. We have Fiona, the oldest, that is our queen, Emmy Rossum, and then the second born is Lip, short for Philip. He is an honor student who's just committing crimes all the time. Next is Ian. He wants to join the military, but is also gay, and he was like messing around with his boss at the grocery store who was married, and that was a whole thing. But now he's kind of sort of with Mickey, like one of the guys who lives in the neighborhood, who is from an even more fucked up family. After Ian is Debbie. She's the only other girl in the family, and I would die for her. After Debbie is Carl, who has some issues of his own that don't seem to be part of the narrative of the family. Like, I think there is some version of Carl that's always going to be a little unhinged, even if he had an idyllic life. Last is Liam. He's the only like not white child in the family, but he is biologically of this family. The only one who I think is not the father's child is Ian, weirdly enough. The dad is Frank, and Frank is just the worst sort of mess. So I'm in the middle of season 2. I actually stopped in the middle of season 2, episode 7, because a lot is happening right now and I kind of need to parse it out. Fiona has been dating this guy, Steve. He hotwires cars, like he steals them for parts and stuff. He pretends to be a valet and then he steals the cars and sells them for parts, does whatever he does for a living. Except Steve actually isn't Steve. He is a guy called Jimmy. He is from a very rich family, and he is just kind of like, he's kind of cosplaying being poor. It's weird. So Fiona has just found out about this. Debbie has known for some time, and Debbie has just now told her, and they haven't spoken about this yet. They have not parsed this out yet. And can I just say, as a sidebar, she is doing the best job she can with the tools that she has. Like, she's clearly like out here fucking up, and there's clearly a ways for this character to go, because this goes on for like 11 seasons, so I assume that things are going to get worse and better and worse and better for her as it goes. But as of right now, she's making some bad decisions, like messing around with that married dude, and that lady chasing her around all episode was not her best look. But I I could see how she got to be this way. I'm also going to say this again. I would die for this little girl. This little girl deserves the world, and something tells me she doesn't get it, because the picture on Netflix when I open up this show is her holding a baby. So I'm assuming that she's gonna get pregnant really early and make some dumb decisions of her own. And I'm just like, oh, girly, you never had a chance, did you? I'm also very worried about her, because when I told my friend I started watching this show and that Debbie was my favorite character, he went, "Oh, well then, we'll talk when you get there." And I was like, "Oh no." That being said, though, this little girl just wants to be loved. She just wants to be loved, and she just wants to be seen. And it's just impossible in the situation that she's in. But she's, again, like, she's handling this as well as she possibly could. Similarly, I would die for these two. They are incredibly unhealthy, and Mickey's kind of like off screen at the moment. Like, he was in jail for a little bit and now he's back, but they're not, I don't know what's going on with them, but they're so cute. They're so cute. They're so cute. They're a mess. They're also really cute. Out of all the guys that Fiona has been messing with, as long as they could get this identity thing with Jimmy, Steve sorted out, I would like to think that these two have a long, tumultuous, but ultimately fruitful relationship ahead of them. There's a lot of other things going on in this show. Lip was messing around with this girl, Karen, and Karen has even more issues than all of these people combined put together, because she jumped the dad, Frank, and Lip is still about her, and now she's pregnant and doesn't know who the dad is because she was running around and doing some shit, and Lip is trying to step up and be the dad, and she's like, I literally married a 30 something year old man to not deal with you in any way, and he's still pursuing her. So I'm like, Lip, what is you doing? Go to college, please go to college. Also, Frank has this relationship with Lip's not girlfriend Karen's mom, Sheila, who is an agoraphobe. And she was doing really, really, really well and like leaving the house and all of that. And Frank's like, oh no, my meal ticket's gonna end. And then her husband, or like her estranged husband, died. And that guy sucked because he treated Karen terribly. Then he died, and now she's back to being a shut-in, and that's a whole other thing. And I'm basically now at the point where Frank's mom is in town and she's trying to do like grandma shit for them, but like not really, you know. Anyway, so my wish list for the near future of this show, I would like to see Fiona win. I would like to see her, you know, have the things she needs to handle raising all of these kids, which she's essentially doing all by herself because her parents are fucking worthless. I want to see Lip get over Karen. Like, he does not need this shit. Ian and Lip are still not talking to each other. I would like for them to sort their shit out, especially because it does seem to be like a misunderstanding, because Lip really didn't want to have anything to do with the military, and Ian is upset because Lip basically like swooped up the West Point application, and I'm just like, guys, it's okay. Just talk to each other. Like, communicate. Liam is, you know, a baby. I want to see him, you know, be alive and accounted for and loved and taken care of. I would like to see Carl see a therapist. I know they all need therapy, but I feel like Carl has some issues that are a little bit more independent of the traumatic and tumultuous situation that they're in. So I would like to see him, like, maybe get like a really cool guidance counselor in his life or something. I'm really, really hopeful. Something tells me this is not that kind of show. And then I want the world for this girl. I would die for her. Like, she's so sweet. She's so sweet, and she's just, and I just, oh, sweetheart. Sweetheart. And because she's got a kid, she's like, she has a kid in the picture, so I feel like she really doesn't have a chance, does she? I hope she at least graduates high school, goes to college. So anyway, those are my thoughts about Shameless so far. I watch Grey's Anatomy with my husband, and there are times where I do like skip ahead of him, and I would like to not do that. So in situations where like he's not available to watch Grey's with me, I wanted a show to like watch by myself, and this was that show. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, there's a lot going on, and I feel like I want to talk about it. So here I am.